This is Jack Maxey sitting in the captain's seat for Stephen K. Bannon, who's on assignment with Miles Guo. Welcome back. This is episode 254, the CCP's Crimes Against the Chinese People. I want to make a shout out to our distribution partners. We have America's Voice News, Dish 219, Salem Radio Network, Newsmax at Night, John Frederick's Radio Network around the nation, and Chicago 103.9. Welcome back, and I'm handing it off to Stephen K. Bannon.
You say captains, you're in the captain's chair. We're actually on the flagship of the new federal state of China. And Miles Guo, I'm getting a lot of feedback. Miles Guo is looking fabulous and like an admiral. I look like a deckhand or a pirate. So I want to make sure people know. My many years of being underway with the United States Navy didn't rub off on me and looking squared away. I am a pirate. On a serious notation, Jack, you know, what's extraordinary, and I think a couple of concepts I want to lay out here for our American audience and for people to think about this. One of the things I think we've done and been very focused over the last couple of years is to talk about the decency and the hard work and how terrific Lao Beijing is, old 100 names, which are the common people in China. They're very much like the deplorables in the United States, working class and middle class people, hardworking, family oriented, and what they've been through. And when they can basically escape the criminal mafia of the CCP, when they go to Hong Kong or Taiwan or Singapore, throughout the rest of Asia, Canada, the United States, England, other places throughout the world, when they have access to the rule of law, when they have access to the freedom of religion and the freedom of speech, the freedom of assembly, you see great things when they have access to democracy. The Chinese people are great citizens throughout the world. They're great people. They're productive. They're hardworking. They're family-oriented. They're law-abiding. And it's just been a terrific, I think, benefit to the world to see that. But inside China, which is the largest and one of the most powerful nations on earth next to the United States, you don't see that. You see poverty. You see enslavement. You see brutality. You see repression, no democracy, no ownership of anything. They've been lied to consistently over these decades. And one of the things I think Miles Guo brought to the West was not just simply to be able to call these people out and point to their specific crimes, and not just to have a whistleblower movement that was inspired young people to kind of join him and to get information, which led to people like Elmer Gui Yuan today on the show from Hong Kong. You see now other people are being inspired, or the new federal states being inspired. One of the most important things I think Miles has done is to give us the concept and the construct of how they actually think about governing the Chinese people and controlling the Chinese people. You know, the West has missed this. If you read all the books and you read all the analysis, you don't really get this. And what Miles has said, he's told me this consistently, he says, you think of this too high. You Americans are too high. You're too, because you've had freedom, you've had the Enlightenment, you've had the Renaissance, you've had all this has been handed down to you. You don't understand how the rest of the world is. You particularly don't understand how the CCP thinks. The CCP actually goes back to the early days of the imperial power of China. And that is never to raise the people up. The Chinese emperors never to raise the people up, never to make their lives better. And the way to think of Mao and to think of Xi and Wan Xishan is to go back to how the emperors suppressed the people and how they took all the value and all the wealth to themselves. And one of the things he talked about is the concept is control the people, control the country. And the way you control the people is weaken the people. And today he's laid out the 5 strategies. It's in classic Chinese thought. And this is how it's done. Number 1, you brainwash the people. Number 2, you don't make sure there's not enough food, there's not enough health care, they don't live in a healthy environment, so they don't have the energy, they don't have the time to think about revolution or overthrowing things. Number 3, they work all the time. And in fact, he said until WTO and America really imposed this from the West, they worked 7 days a week. There was no time off. Not just that, in the brainwashing, what the state, the CCP holds up as the ideal is people that drop dead from work. And you see this all the time in the factories, the young girls that commit suicide, the young people commit suicide because the entire life is just this relentless work with no chance of freedom, no chance to actually spend time just with yourself, much less your family. The other is to take away your self-esteem and to make sure that you have no self-esteem, that you're totally humiliated, but to put in you hatred of other people, put into you hatred of the Uyghurs, hatred of the Tibetan Buddhists and the Dalai Lama, hatred of the Christians, hatred of the Catholics, hatred of America, hatred of India, right? That it's never the CCP's fault, it's all these other outside forces that are bound to take away. And since you have no self-dignity and you have no religion, you have nothing like that, they teach you to hate, hate, hate. Just hate these other people. And the last, Miles, if those four don't work, if those four weakening the people don't work, what's the fifth?
The fifth is very important. High tax. Don't want you have rich.
No rich, no money.
No rich. It's high tax. Take your money. This is the fifth strategy. Don't want you rich. Then if the fifth strategy not work, kill you.
Kill you.
Kill you. This is why, brother, you need to look Hong Kong and the mainland. You need to know America. Why CCP broken the 50 years contract CCP sent to UK? Because the Hong Kong people don't follow the five strategy. Hong Kong people rich. Hong Kong people high education. Hong Kong people know the website, know the truth. Hong Kong people want to know democracy, freedom. Oh, Xi Jinping, CCP. Hong Kong, you fight me, fight the five strategy, even I don't take down the Hong Kong people, CCP die. That's why in Hong Kong, have the Hong Kong the disaster time. They rape the mother, they rape the daughter, then kill you, put to sea. Last 11 months, Hong Kong, 10,000 people died on the sea. This police say every die is normal. Nobody check. Why is all the family, the mother dies, daughter dies, get the reaper. Also the young boy get the reaper. Nobody say anything. Why? That's a five strategy. You fight me, I humiliate you, assault you, right? Then kill you. You look, all the Hong Kong people, you don't follow me, don't listen me. This is your sample. Reaper you, put you see, kill your mother, kill your daughter, kill your wife, reap your wife. Now, in the world, you look at Xi Jinping, Wang Jishan talk what? Two country, two leader leading the world. Special big country relationship, American with China. They say, America, you leading the rule of the law of the country, west of the world. You don't touch my side. My side wants what? Dictator. Cuba, Korea, Iranian, Africa, Mongolia, Nigeria, Zambia, Uganda, Tanzania, all the dictator country, that's my side. You don't touch. We use the five strategy, control the half world. We use RMB. You use dollar. You call west the world, don't touch my side. I side the dictator, one family control one country. You don't touch us. This is why CCP in China, not a legally regime, is the family control of the country. They kidnap my country. They use five strategy, kill by kill. It's the hooligan criminal group.
You're saying when the revolution or the Civil War ended in 1949 or came to an end in the United States, everybody backed off. They promised two fundamental things: democracy and land reform.
Zero. No.
Nothing.
They want the spirit, the style, the country region style is successful. Go to the outer world. Also, some Americans say, oh, maybe we try China style. American. This is why before they give Chinese, say, I give you freedom, free life, Cultural Revolution, free life. You look at American now. You have democracy. Somebody try. I want a free life. Free life. Don't need to work. Don't need to earn money. Don't need to create something. But I want a super life, luxury life. That's the communism. Cheat you, give you free life, but it's kill freedom. Now this spirit all give the world. You can have the free life, but you need to kill freedom. That's the fundamental.
To get the free life of communism, you need to kill freedom, and I take it you need to kill the
Yeah, that's why American now, you look all the world, everywhere. You see, I want a free life, I don't want to work, I don't want to do anything, but I want to kill freedom.
Why has the world, this is what I think it's hard for people, and particularly middle-class people in America that listen to our show, to think that you've had all these experts, you've had all these huge companies, you've had all these, Wall Street investment banks, London investment banks, capital going through there. China has clearly materially increased, right, with the CCP. Why has no one ever stood up, and quite frankly, until it was you and now Elmer and other young people in the new Federal Society, the Chinese are doing, why has no one ever stood up to the CCP and said, hey, you promised democracy, you promised land reform, you promised ownership, you promised eventually go to some sort of form of capitalism. Why has no one done that?
You must be know, sir, it's the CCP. Is #1 corruption professional in the world.
Corruption professionals. What do you mean by corruption?
Corruption.
You mean money laundering, influence peddling?
Influence peddling. Also, you look at Wall Street, American media, all the European media, all this luxury family, they use Chinese big market force, make the deal with any country, want you shut up. Then same American technical company helps CCP build firewall. The firewall is help CCP brainwash.
The firewall.
Firewall. This is how you are America. They give you big deal from the market, the finance people all the follow CCP. It's the money laundering by CCP. It's the laundering the money. Okay. 3, they give you as a market to big technical company. They help CCP build a firewall. Everything is driven by perfect. That's why the world problem. America need now. You are driven by perfect. Lose the justice, lose the freedom, lose the truth. Now you get return, reincarnation. They send the coronavirus go to your country.
The COVID-19.
CCP virus.
CCP virus.
CCP virus.
You should not call it COVID-19.
Brother, you need all America. 2019, December, China Foreign Affairs Minister Yang Jiechi and Wang Yi in the state camera talk to ask America, do you want my open the Pandora box? Before the
Pandora's box.
Before 15 days, American with China signed a trade deal in the Washington.
Trade deal.
Don't threaten us, okay? Even America wants me really open the Pandora box. Don't forget 9/11. Do you remember this story? 2019 December. Then it's the 2020 January 13. China Prime Minister Liu He go to DC. Sanders called first the contract. Then China say we are no quarantine problem. We know CCP.
They lied. You saying they lied to the
no people to people.
No people. WHO.
We can control. Then after the
hang on one second, because we're going to have to go to commercial break. Jack, jump in here when you got the clock. I just wanted to. You're saying they lied straight out.
30 seconds.
Straight out lied.
100%. 100%, sir. American pay blood.
Hey, listen.
Even don't wake up, you need to pay more.
Okay, we're going to jump. Jack, you take it. We're going to come back in a second.
Okay, people, we're going to be back in about 2 minutes. We got to make some money with our sponsors. But listen, this is a great show. We want you to stick around because we are going to win this fight, people. Free world against the CCP.
Pandemic with Stephen K. Bannon. Here's your host, Stephen K. Bannon.
This is Jack Maxey in the War Room on Capitol Hill. I've got Greg Manns at my side. We've got Stephen K. Bannon and Miles Guo on assignment. This special today is called the CCP's Crimes Against the Chinese People. Back to you, Steve.
Yeah, look, it's turbulent times. We cover the geopolitical issues every day here in War Room Pandemic. Remember, what's going to get us through this essentially catastrophe in the world is going to be entrepreneurs. You hear them every week on this show. Entrepreneurs need NetSuite by Oracle. That is the software package for entrepreneurs. I'll be talking more about NetSuite a little later in the show. Hey, Jack, can we have some feedback? We're on the flagship out here on the high seas. Can you give us some feedback on how War Room Pandemic and the YouTube live chat, what are we hearing from people?
Well, one of the things I wanted to bring up, they're talking about destroying the Songjiang art district around Beijing, where old 100 names artists have been inspired and working there for many, many years, and they're using the CCP virus to go in there and knock down these art studios. And it's really quite a tragedy because these people as artists are really the light of the Chinese spirit. And I've been promoting this story around the web, and the artist actually reached out to me and he said, "Dear Jack, thank you and Mr. Bannon and the heroes of the War Room. You are the heroes who are saving the Chinese people and all the people of the world. As a Chinese artist, I love you." This is how important this show is. And thank you, Miles Guo. What a great hero you are to have G Media get this stuff into China. People are listening, and I want all of you who are out there to know that we have your six. We love you. We love the Chinese people. It's back to you, Steve.
Boy, I got to tell you, Jack, you see what's going on throughout the world in the United States. Remember, take their history, take their heroes, and you can control them. Miles walked through this weaken the Chinese people to control the people, and then you control the country. I mean, it shows you how over this millennia, there's never really been a concept of lifting up the Chinese people. But when the Chinese people get to the West, and it's not about the West, it's about rule of law. It's about freedom of speech. It's about freedom of religion. It's about freedom of assembly. Right now, we are running out of time, and there's many important topics we've got to get to. But one I want to get to specifically is about this concept of religion and hatred. Elmer, in the first part of the show, talked about 400 million forced abortions. And he wasn't saying abortions in the traditional sense. He says it was actually a baby, right? And it's taken out of somebody. You've told me the same thing. The question I have for you, which I can't understand, is that back in 2018, live on Guo Media, you actually set up that I could broadcast from a convent overlooking St. Peter's Square in the Vatican. It was during the time they had the huge conference on the sexual predator issue. And when I was there for the sexual predator, I said, look, that's a huge issue in the church, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, the church has signed a secret deal with the CCP. And it just blew my mind that the Vatican could be in any type of relationship with the CCP. That the CCP is an atheistic, materialistic dictatorship that, as you say, one of its central focuses is to strip any type of spirituality from the Chinese people and instill hatred. So my question, first off, is it really been 400 million? Have the CCP, because of the one-child policy, done 400 million forced abortions, which are essentially murder, on young Chinese women?
100%, sir. CCP since 1913, as go to China, join to China, they have the call atheism.
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 They don't believe in God.
Yes, believe in God.
They do not believe in God.
Right. Also, this politeria, right? No asset. This is the two slogan, right? You remember, right? Politeria, no asset.
Proletariat. The proletariat has no asset.
No asset.
Right.
And no God, right?
No God.
But the last 70 years in China, they try to build a new God.
New God.
The new God is the CCP, Xi Jinping, Chairman Mao. They are against Christian Catholic. But Vatican never say anything about this.
The Vatican.
The Vatican. Also, Cultural Revolution, because the people no food. Nearly 100 million people to die. No food, they don't care. But Vatican never say anything.
The Vatican was quiet.
They have one child, one policy. 400 million child get killed. Vatican never say anything. They try to make the deal with the CCP. They make a temperature to.
Here's what I understand. Cardinal Zen,
yeah,
who is one of the I've had an honor to meet him several times and be in his
He's a
presence.
good guy, yeah.
One of the most holy men, like Dalai Lama, a super holy man, right?
Super good guy.
Cardinal Zen has told he has been the Hong Kong bishop that has helped the underground mainland Catholic Church.
Yeah.
He has told the Vatican for years and years and years, they're criminals. You can't trust them. They're there to destroy us. You can't be in business with them. Why did they not listen to Cardinal Zen? It's because he's Chinese? Why does the Vatican not listen to the man on the ground that has been the shepherd of the church in China?
Driven by perfect. On the table, give the money.
Under the table.
And play the games. Oh, next year I want to sign a trade deal. I same with America. Next year I want you come to China. Next year I want to open up for the religion. They cheat again, 70 years. Never happened. Now Americans still in the game, same. Say no US, mutual benefit, mutual trust, mutual respect.
Win-win.
Win. You never win. They win 20 toys. Same with the Vatican. They are saying, we win. We are mutual respect. I want to try opening up for the religion. Catholic.
Is that a lie?
It's all the lie. This Vatican is driven by perfect somebody and too naive. Perfect and too high. That's you get a cheater. It's number one liar on the one country and the region. It's the CCP.
I want to answer a couple of questions here in this segment.
Yeah.
We got time. I want to talk specifically
Sorry,
about.
hold on. That's why it's the understand in Hong Kong, because they are brainwashed all the West. Nobody listen Anderson. Anderson is the best guy. You need to listen to him.
Listen to him.
Listen to him.
I want to go back to Pope Francis. The Pope Francis has made a thing of the environment is so special. You have to take care of the environment, worry about the environment. The CCP has the worst track record in the world on the environment, correct? Polluting the rivers of China, as you tell me, poisoning the soil, poisoning the air. One of the things of the virus is that when they had to shut down production, the air actually got better in Beijing. Has the Pope ever called out the CCP for being the worst polluter in the world?
Yes, this is what I believe. We don't take down CCP. We all the world, America, Vatican, it's Hong Kong. It's see you tomorrow.
There will be Hong Kong tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. They don't like democracy, freedom. You don't like you smart, high education. They don't like you have the God, have the religion, the faith. That's the CCP. You only two choice. Continue your democracy, religion, the life, and follow the communism and the CCP. Free life, kill freedom.
Kill freedom.
And Hong Kong see you tomorrow. What's your choice?
Do they have to kill all the middle class and rich people to install? Is that their?
That's why
as they said, take all the landowners back in the
That's why
revolution.
you listen to Putin, Xi President Frank. They see Chinese 92%, medium level, high level, all the prepare and are ready immigration to out.
I want to make sure we're clear about this. This
Yeah.
week, the mainstream media really forgot it, but it was G News and GTV that picked up in a conference in, I think it was Moscow.
You must go, yeah.
Putin, and you had reporters there, Putin said, the problem with China is that 92% of the people with talent want to get out.
Yeah.
Right? Because they don't want to live in a dictatorship. Is that what he said?
That's 100%.
And he says that's why he thinks China, the CCP, will eventually
no
fall.
future.
No future.
China, no future. It's the poor country, last poor country in the world. And China is no healthy because the earth, everything get pollution. I think it's the God, sanction to Chinese. We too long time don't fight back the CCP. CCP too long time in China kidnap my country. This is Chinese, all the Chinese, including my family, get a big penalty from God. We betrayed the God. We betrayed the justice. We betrayed everything. That's why Earth and the world get a big pollution. We are now, you look at CCP, created a biological weapon, CCP virus, speared the world, kill 400,000 people. 4 million people get infected, but no stop. I think it's even worse next year and this end of the year.
When Bill Gertz or Tom Cotton or on War Room, we even mentioned the possibility of going to the labs and getting all information which is one of the reasons Pompeo went to Pearl Harbor, to Hickam Field, to meet with Yang, is to get full information of what happened in Wuhan and what happened in these P4 labs. If we even mention it, we're called conspiracy theory nuts that hate the Chinese people. Yet you're sitting there going, it's ridiculous. You have to go and hold those guys accountable. They did it. Is that basically your assessment?
Yes. We'll see. We have the people, I think, coming now is in America. Some professional, some of the science can give you American more the evidence. I hope America don't too late wake up. You are pay so high cost. 120% people die. America, unbelievable. 2 million get infected. If you don't wake up now, more people die, more the people get infected. It's too late.
I know
you need to fight back.
We have to go to a break, but you say this to me all the time. Almost 125,000 of your countrymen are dead because of the CCP, and you never hear people blame the CCP for their murders.
You look at me 3 years ago.
Okay, we're going to go for a break. We'll be right back with Miles Guo and Stephen K. Bannon.
War Room Pandemic with Stephen K. Bannon. Here's your host, Stephen K. Bannon.
Welcome back to War Room Pandemic. This is one of our Saturday specials covering the Chinese Communist Party and our war to liberate the Chinese people. We're going to do this with love. We're going to do this with information. And we're going to do this by tearing down the firewall. I'm going to hand it back over to Stephen K. Bannon and Miles Guo, the leader of the dissident movement in China. Back to you, Steve.
Listen, we talk about turbulent times, we talk about turbulent issues, but that's the reality. We would love to sit there and pat you on the head and tell you it's all going to be better, but it's only going to be better through human agency and human action. One of the actions I recommend you take today is start to think about having precious metals in your investment portfolio. The way to do that is to go to Birch Gold. Birch Gold's got a 20-page package right now, 20-page information package to help you think through whether it should be either in your investment portfolio or actually you should take possession of it. Go to birchgold.com. That's one word, birchgold.com/Bannon, B-A-N-N-O-N, to get your package today. Remember, this is the #1 company in gold. So make sure you go there, get the information package, read it, review it, then you can go online and talk to the people at Birch Gold. I really want to thank them and their sponsorship. Now I want to turn back to Jack Maxey. Jack, I know people their heads are blowing up today. We've dealt with so many big issues, but the central issue is the criminality of the Chinese Communist Party. We've said on this show for now the 9 months we've been on, and I've been saying for years since I left the White House, is that it's only the Chinese people that will free themselves, and that is the single biggest event of the first half of the 21st century will be the freedom of the Chinese people. Whoever assists the Chinese people in their freedom, the hardworking, decent people of China, whoever assists the Chinese people in their fight for their own freedom will help with them write the history of the 21st century. That's why this fight, of all the other things that are going on, the central issue is the freedom of the Chinese people. And now I want to turn back to Miles Guo. And Jack, if you got anything, let me know, and I want to get it up. I want to get up 2 books as I talk about this, and I want to get back to the Vatican. But first, it's just not Miles Guo. You know, everybody's saying, well, Miles Guo was such a fire breather. Miles Guo, back in 2017, was at Hudson Institute and warned us all about this and what was happening, and the mainstream media dismissed it. The CCP shut it down. But there's 2 books that are coming out from 2 of the most respected authors in the world. And you know what they do? They essentially back up everything that Miles Guo has been saying. And they're 2 independent authors, and they're not American. One, as we had on the show a couple of weeks ago, is Francesco Gallietto. The book is called Red Contagion. It's not even in English yet. It's in Italian. Francesco is known as one of the top geopolitical writers in Italy, principally dealing with issues of the EU and politics. But in his book, Red Contagion, it's called Red Contagion, how the Chinese Communist Party is using Italy as the Trojan horse into the West. And he goes back and talks about Xi's speech at Davos 48 hours before President Trump's inaugural address in the third week of January of 2017, where she says all roads lead to Rome, and that we have a new system driven by China that's going to incorporate Europe and eventually the United States, right? And President Trump, a couple of days later, gave this ringing defense, the ringing defense of the Westphalian system that talked about the nation state. That book is Red Contagion. It's explosive. Because in there, Francesco, who's a political and economic and hedge fund and financial analyst, says it's the Vatican that is the way that the Chinese Communist Party is getting into Italian politics and getting into control Italy. And it is the Vatican that is in business with the Chinese Communist Party. And he calls out Pope Francis and says, look, Pope Francis is virulently anti-American. And what he means by anti-American, he's anti the fundamental premises of the Judeo-Christian West. In addition, and by the way, the Vatican has had no response to that book, and they had no response to Miles Grove's interview with me last week, where he said, he just reiterated, they've been in business with the Chinese Communist Party for a while. They've signed a secret deal that they refuse to open up, and that deal was made by Cardinal McCarrick, the most corrupt, worst pedophile in the entire church, has been thrown out of the priesthood, stripped of his cardinalship, lives in a retirement home, still funded by the church, out in Nebraska somewhere. It's McCarrick, who is a devil and satanic, who made the deal with the CCP. And it's interesting that the Vatican has not come out and refuted anything Miles Grove says, because Miles Grove said, hey, let's open up the treaty. Let's look at your books. Have you been in business? Because Miles Grove laid it out. He says this treaty is all about official diplomatic recognition of the CCP and throw Taiwan away and throw the free Chinese away from the rest of the world. The second book that is going to hit like a bombshell in Canada on July 3rd when it's printed is Clive Hamilton from Australia. Mr. Hamilton is the prophet that said back in, I think, 4 or 5 years ago, wrote a book called Silent Invasion, how the CCP was coming in and taking over Australia with what? Exactly what Miles Grove talks about: corruption, money laundering, influence peddling, buying companies, buying the assets of Australia and controlling them behind the scenes, buying the politicians. In fact, you could argue that the conservative Morrison is the Prime Minister of Australia because of Clive Hamilton's investigative reporting about the CCP. Now, you know what happened to Clive Hamilton when this book came out in Australia a number of years ago? The same thing they said about Miles Grove. He's crazy. He's a liar. This is all made up. Guess what? They didn't suppress that book, and it was all true, and it changed Australian politics and saved the Australian people. Because remember, when we talk about the geopolitics in the South China Sea, Australia is right there at the tip of the spear, just like in World War II. Well, Hamilton's coming out with a new book. You know what that new book is? It's called Hidden Hand. And it essentially supports everything Miles Grove's been saying for several years while he's been in the West, that the CCP is an influence peddling, money laundering, they're buying politicians, they're buying companies, they're buying Wall Street, they're buying all of it, and it's a hidden hand. It's a hidden hand to control Europe and the United States. And you know what's amazing? The CCP is, the news reports the other day, they're going to London to, guess what, to stop publication of the book in the United Kingdom and in the United States. But what's interesting, because of a wrinkle, it appears that the book is going to be actually published and presented to the people in Canada on July 3rd in the middle of this huge firestorm about Huawei and about the CFO of Huawei, who's really the daughter. She's the princess of the head of Huawei, which is just the PLA. And it's the way, as you know, if you watch his show, that Huawei is the technology infrastructure of quantum computing that's going to be used to control all the data, control all the information, and give the PLA total control of the West. Right now, Trudeau's under pressure from 19 senior people in the government and in politics and the media. They're saying, no, you can't let America extradite her. You can't let America get her back to make her undergo questioning under penalty of perjury about all the lies and misrepresentations of Huawei, which Miles Grove and Epoch Times, right, and New Tang Dynasty TV have been saying for years. No, can't do that, gotta let her go back. So now we have Francesco Gallietto, who's no colleague of Miles Grove, coming out and talking about Italy, and we have Clive Hamilton, his new book, Hidden Hand, that's going to explode over the horizon when it's released in Canada. Miles Guo told us this back in, first time I had not Miles Guo, but what I saw was, I think it was in October of 2017, when Miles Guo was supposed to go to the Hudson Institute and tell us exactly what you have said. They're a criminal organization. They're here to destroy America. They're here to take your freedoms like they're taking the Chinese people. And they pulled the plug on that. VOA had already pulled the plug on your live interview when you were talking about the corruption that all has come true. So what is it about the West that we don't want to hear the truth? What is it that, whether it's Francesco Gallietto and Red Contagion, or Clive Hamilton and Hidden Hand, or Miles Guo, or now Elmer, when people come forward and say they're criminals, they've aborted people, they've murdered people, they've thrown people into prison, they've never given democracy, they've never given rule of law, they've never given land reform or anything, and the evidence is there. Why is the world still want to look away and say, no, the CCP is the legitimate government of China?
Sir, you look at Huawei, you talk to Huawei, right? Huawei go to America, into the Europe, they are follow five strategy: brainwash, control your security. They use the five strategy in America, the evidence, right? Secondly, you look at the SOE company, they go to the NASDAQ, they take your money, $1 trillion. They make American poor, make American weak, lose control economy, weak, you America. That's threaten American President Trump. Trump president only worry American economy don't go to down. So CCP say, you don't want to go to down? Follow me. Same five strategy. Put you down economy, you poor, you listen to me. And the technology is the Huawei. Brainwash you America. And you don't listen to me, American, you don't listen to me, kill you. CCP virus.
120,000 Americans.
No, 102 million. That's why you look at new strategy, five strategy, technically used to America, but very bad. This America dollar help build the regime as a continue. Kidnap China, now threaten all the world and kill America. You, American government, official people, you need to ask China government. 2019, December, China officially foreign flag, the minister wants say, don't want my open the Pandora box, America. You don't forget the 9/11. Sir, why you don't ask him, what is your Pandora box? Show me. What is this the CCP virus? This is your Pandora box? And what is why I forgot the 9/11? What you can do? You kill America 120,000 and 120 million. This is easy. You can ask China. This is officially talk, not my mouth go rumor. I'm a reaper. I'm a liar. I'm a cheater. I'm a no money. I'm a no tax power. Okay, that's my mouth go liar. You ask China officially talk in the TV. This is officially high level people. America, don't forget the 9/11. Don't want me open the Pandora box. That's threaten America. You don't need to watch. Listen to crazy mouth go, reaper mouth go, liar mouth go. You ask him, what is your Pandora box inside? Now, CCP virus. After this talk, 2 weeks, come here, America. #1 disaster city is New York. The dollar economy, American economy hard. And London. All the Catholic Christian country. Oh my God, why this is the CCP virus in the China, Wuhan? China is only 10,000 people die. America 120,000 people die. China just 100,000 get infected. Americans 2 million.
You think that's a lie? The CCP lies about how many people died and infected?
That's definitely. But Americans need to know why you early the CCP virus come in America before you threaten America. Don't forget the 9/11. Don't give China open the Pandora box.
Jack, I'm going to turn it back to you, but you're saying when they said don't push us, don't, or you're going to open a Pandora's box.
Yeah.
That's the threat to America.
Yeah, that's the CCP virus. You know what is the Wuhan, this coronavirus, the laptop. The name, the case, the name. So don't forget. That's the Pandora box. You cannot touch. Must be secure. This is the Wuhan laboratory.
Okay, guys, we got to go for a commercial break. We're going to be back in a few minutes with Miles Guo and Stephen K. Bannon. Join us after the break, and we'll see you then. Thanks so much.
War Room Pandemic with Stephen K. Bannon. Here's your host, Stephen K. Bannon.
This is Jack Maxey with Greg Manns in the War Room. We've got Stephen K. Bannon on assignment with Miles Guo. This is CCP Crimes Against the Chinese People. A shout out to our distributors, America's Voice News, Dish 219, Salem Radio Network, Newsmax at Night, John Fredericks, Chicago 103.9, and on G Media, fired through the firewall in China so that the people of China can understand that the whole world is backing you. Back to you, Steve.
Yeah, look, in turbulent times, what entrepreneurs need is tools. You need operating leverage. The best tool is NetSuite by Oracle. It's the software package that organizes everything, your projections, your financials, your capital asset pricing model, your inventory, all of it, including human resources. In today's turbulent times, entrepreneurs need assistance to mitigate risk. That best tool you can get is NetSuite by Oracle. Oracle's number one on the cloud, and NetSuite is the number one with small businessmen. Remember, whether your company's $1 million to $100 million, you need NetSuite by Oracle. Go to netsuite.com/Bannon, Bannon, and get the 7 action steps every entrepreneur should be taking today. Jack, what do we hear from War Room Pandemic? What do we hear from the hashtag War Room Pandemic in the live feed?
Well, what's so amazing is that I believe that Miles, you particularly, and Steve as well, that we are really inspiring the world to understand what is going on. This was one that just came over a little while ago. It says, I pray the American people wake and realize that none of this unrest will mean anything if the CCP Nazi Party continues to grow in power like the Eye of Sauron. They cast a shadow of evil, and it is growing around the planet, and it originates within the CCP. Stand together or hang separately. This is coming out of Hong Kong. We also had another one which I thought was very moving. It says, thank you, Jack and Steve and all the War Room staff and producers. The Chinese people thank you for your kind heart and support along the way. With you and God, we will help set ourselves free. This is why we fight, people. This is why we bring you these messages, because this is the moral fight of our generation. Everybody needs to stand up and be counted, because this is a moral imperative, a historical imperative. Back to you, Steve.
Look, the CCP knows it's in trouble, and the reason is you have now a whistleblower movement made of young people. You've got the contention in Hong Kong. You get people like Elmer Guang-Yun, who is just a traditional businessman. Everybody's coming kind of to the side of Miles Guo and others that have been saying, hey, CCP must fall. Listen, Miles, we only got a couple of minutes left, but I want to go into something. I wish we had more time we were supposed to, but we went over in the other topics. The new federal state of China. The CCP continues to say, look, as bad as we are, maybe we can try to reform ourselves. Because the Chinese people are not ready for democracy. The Chinese people are not ready for freedom. The Chinese people are not ready for rule of law. That if we go away, it will collapse into chaos, anarchy, and civil war. And you say that the new federal state of China shows a coalition of not just you, but other successful business people, and most importantly, sports figures and cultural figures that say they stand for a new China. Tell our audience, what is new federal state of China? Why is it an alternative to the Chinese Communist Party?
Sir, I really honor with you together is the create the new federal state of China. Because China more than 500 million people follow us. Suppose us if China have the new federal state of China. We
500 million people inside of China, you think support new federal state?
Yeah, more the people. Also the CCP 90 million people. The members, I think more than 90% people, support us. I want China have the numerally region. It's bad guy get the section, good guy have the good future. Don't be worried. Your mother, your wife, your daughter get raped, get killed. And I don't want the regime create the CCP virus can spring the world, threaten the world. I want the Chinese the wisdom, very hard work, create any product can enjoy the peace and the life in the China and in the world. Also, Chinese don't like war, not very aggressive. I wanted to show the world Chinese is very peace, friendly, can make a big contribution, give the world anything. We have a long time history and a good culture. We never countries another country with peaceful nationality. We don't like the CCP challenge the world, threaten the world. We want the Chinese have the Catholic, Christian, free religion, independence, rule of the law. I want the American West right now, Chinese no interest to challenge America and the world. We want to follow the West, the world, the civilized. This we are new federal state. By CCP, 90% members, people want to take down the family, control the country.
Hang on for a second. You're saying that inside the Chinese Communist Party, you think up to 90% of those people.
More than 90%.
Because why? Because now the Chinese Communist Party is basically controlled by just a handful of families?
Xi Jinping change the constitution. Constitution you can change, and not everything you can change. Also, China, 90 million the Communist Party member, no future, no hope, no security. Everybody threat because they can use anti-movement, anti-corruption movement, and all the good guys go to jail. They did a 5 strategy. They don't like people stronger. They don't like a good guy. They don't like a strong guy. If you like a strong, smart, just guy, it's a big threat to the family control the power. They send it to you jail and maybe kill you. That's why you look at all the people. Putin say 92 Chinese, including CCP members, they want the immigration.
They want to leave. They want to immigrate.
They want to leave.
We got a couple minutes left. I want to ask a question. Mr. Howe, in the great sports star that's in Spain, you're here in the United States. Is there any doubt in your mind after living in America for a couple of years in London, or Mr. Howe living in
1 minute, guys,
Spain? Is there any doubt Chinese people are not ready for democracy and rule of law?
Chinese, all people are ready as a democracy. Sir, really appreciate you. We are 2 days ago, Mr. Hao the son get, threatened in Serbia, kidnapped. Now, just 2 hours ago, we're starting this is the broadcast show. We use the private jet, many people hop, take the sun, go back to spring. Now we're free. So we want to talk to CCP. We need democracy and freedom. Okay, freedom, religions. All the Chinese, more than 90% want this. We can make it happen. China take down CCP, only one can make China peaceful, no inside the war. We can keep all the rest of the world people in China keep your benefit, your long-term
10 seconds, guys,
and the benefit in China.
Hey, Miles, we're going to have to cut you off. This is the end of the show, but my God, what an amazing show, people. We love your participation.